Nonfiction books are great for inspiring new passions, encouraging current ones, teaching our kids about the world around them or the history before them. We have a brand new series called The Extraordinary Life, which features a different person that was impactful in history. This one is about Anne Frank and tells her story from her perspective in a way that is kid-friendly and engaging. I love that there's pictures to break up the text, different fonts and quotes that are highlighted that really make the book special and help them to grasp just how important her story is. Dr. Maggie's Grand Tour of the Solar System. Now this is an awesome book that's really like an adventure that's going to teach your child about space and the solar system. It starts off from what's involved in preparing for this trip, but also what's from the moment of takeoff. I really liked how it talked about how fast you need to go to be able to get into space or get into orbit, or what will happen if you don't go fast enough. So there's some physics involved in that. But I also learned a lot about each of the planets, facts that I didn't know before. For example, Mercury has snow on it. You can have a snowball fight with snow that's been there for millions of years. There's a volcano in our solar system, and lots of different information like that that is going to feed that hunger for a child that absolutely loves to learn about space. Usborne Lift the Flap, Biggest, Fastest, Tallest, and many more record-breaking extremes. Now, if you love Ripley's Believe It or Not, this is the same kind of concept, and it's a lot of fun because you're going to be learning about different, the biggest animals, the biggest dinosaurs, things like that. And the flaps are there with bite-sized information. If you don't know, flaps are great for memory recall because the reader is engaged in opening the flap, which helps their memory, but also the bite-sized facts. It's so much fun to read one of our Lift the Flap books and hear your child recall information in daily life from those books. Fastest, the fastest bird on land is the ostrich. The longest river is the Nile, northeastern Africa, 4,258 miles, and some more information on that. See Inside Atoms and Molecules, Usborne STEM. Now our STEM books are amazing. Definitely check those out if you're wanting your child to learn more about science or that's something they're interested in. This is all about atoms and molecules, talks about what atoms are, how they join together. Again, flaps with more information, which is going to help them to store these things in their memory. Different states, solid, liquid, and gas. But I love how they have the periodic table here that breaks down the elements in groups. This one is, these elements in the middle are transition metals. They are hard, shiny, and often valuable. Titanium can be treated to give it a rainbow sheen, and lots of cool information about those elements. Usborne Lift the Flap, Questions and Answers about Plastic. This is a great book about how we as humans affect the environment. In this case with plastic, it goes through and explains how plastic is made, what we use it for, what it's made out of. But it also talks about the impact on the environment, how we use it for such a short time, but it lasts forever in the earth, right? And how we can avoid those negative effects by using other alternatives. And it also answers some questions like, where does my plastic recycling go, and things like that. That's a job. I like animals. What jobs are there? So I love this book because if you have a child that's interested in working with animals, this is a great way to plant those seeds and get them thinking about what they want to do in the future. This book goes through and it talks about 46 different occupations that work with animals. And it'll go through and explain what a day is like working as that position, like a police dog handler. And then at the bottom here, it'll tell you the pros and cons of that job. But the really neat thing is towards the back, there is a special chart here that helps them to figure out what kind of a job might be more fitting for them. What's your perfect match? With so many jobs out there, it can be tricky to choose between them. Use this guide to see which careers match up with your skills, personal qualities, and interests. So if you're good at science, these are the jobs for you. If you're creative, that would work for you, or organized, and think about your qualities and your interests. So it's a really great resource for starting those conversations and thoughts. History Uncovered, the USA. So this is a really neat book. It's got some 3D aspects for it. It's engaging because you get to see the United States grow through history. So when it starts out, the country is born, and these are the states that it starts out and what is happening in those times. And as you progress through the book, the United States starts to grow and add more states and have more things that happen in history. So lots of fun. So which book are you the most interested in and think you'll learn the most from? Tell me in the comments below.